South Africa. Siya Kolisi, rugby player and wife Rachel Kolisi, announces the end of their marriage. And you're going to find out why this is interesting for you. Let's go. What's up, everybody? Hope you're doing good. It's a beautiful day. Thank you very much for stopping by. You're very much appreciated. It's been a beautiful day for me. It's been busy though, like lots of things to do. You know, one of those days when you're trying to catch up with work, but then you have a lot more things. Anyway, let's just not get away. Okay, let's get back to track. Okay, Siya Kolisi is this guy right here, and his wife Rachel Kolisi. He's a rugby player. They've ended their marriage and announced it in a conjoint statement in Instagram. And lots of people in South Africa are going alert about it. They're asking questions. This couple gives so much hope to South Africa. Siya Kolisi, big guy, captain of the South African Springbok rugby team. And whenever the rugby team played many years before, it was only about white men. When Siya Kolisi and some of the guys came into the team, black people felt involved, and every time there was matches and stuff, black people would come. And the good thing also for the picture was Siya Kolisi, a black man married to a white woman, so bringing the nation together. Does this mean the nation cannot come together? Because this gave people hope. Oh, Siya Kolisi, they even called her, Mama Rachel or something. They gave her a nice, affectionate name, African affectionate name. Does this mean, well, it's just not possible? They're just too different. It's just, yeah. So this is interesting, and you're going to find out why this is interesting. You know, we don't talk about things like this, but I think we're going to find out. Okay, so South Africa is this country, a beautiful place, lovely people, where there's a major separation between white and blacks. And as you can see, Siya is a black man, and Rachel is a white woman. Now, they got married for a while. They've been through love, you know, had 2 children together. And many questions are being raised. Like, one of them is, was she really with him because she loved him? Or was she really with him because he's a star? He's a rugby player after all. He's the South African rugby team, the Springboks' first black captain. This is the Springbok long time ago. Yeah, as you can see, they represent South Africa. They are all white. Not just because they're all white, because again, most black people don't play rugby like that. They like soccer. And also because they prefer having white people represent them than anything else. Now, Siya Kolisi is the first black South African man to be the captain of this team. Now, let's see through this, okay? This is what they say. They say, after much reflection and open conversation, we have mutually decided to end our marriage. It's very sad, huh? The decision came from a place of love, respect, and understanding that this is the best path forward for both of us. They added that they will remain close friends and will continue to be dedicated partners in raising their children. They say they also plan to keep working together on the Kolisi Foundation. Okay, let me just remind you here that Rachel Kolisi, whose previous name is Rachel Smith, is co-founder on the Kolisi Foundation, and she's the CEO. So even though they're going to part ways, she's still going to be very much involved. They're going to be both involved in raising their children and running business. Now, many lessons to go through in this, very quickly. We're going to raise our children together. That is something that many of our people are unable to do. Okay, raising your children together once you part ways. I'm sorry, but we don't do it really. And when I say we, you know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about you, because you usually just want to fight each other. He was wrong. He was narcissistic. He was bad. She was, it's all crazy. But you can actually part ways in the most polite, most loving way possible, and not having your children to be subject to such a harsh separation. Make it easy for them. Yeah, separation is never easy, but there are ways you can do to kind of soften the blow on the children. Why did they separate? Now, there are many speculations. Some people are accusing Siya Kolisi of being promiscuous. Yeah, they say he's been, what our people do. I'm sorry. I'm just telling you the truth. Our people, don't come for me. Some of us are good. But yeah, a big chunk of us, I'm sorry. Yeah, especially when you get some money, you get opportunities and fame. Look, let me remind you here, South Africa, for the most case, most black people have come out of poverty. The great majority. And naturally as it gets, as soon as you get an opportunity to be driving G-Wagons and other big cars and a lot of money in the bank, you probably realize that you have so many options. And in most cases, people, even though they don't want to move to the next options, they want to taste the next option. And I don't think Rachel Smith has got the guts for that or the patience. Yeah, some of our sisters can. Yeah. for many reasons, and to be blatant, sometimes the reason is financial. I'm just being honest with you. It's very easy to leave a guy who doesn't have anything than to leave a man who's got all the money and the G-Wagons. I'm just being honest with you. It's very easy to leave a guy who's got anything. I mean, like, he's struggling, he's got a 9-to-5 job, whatever. You bring in just as much money as he's than to leave a person who's actually going to get you to stay home and have a beautiful life. Well, for them, when I say them, I mean? They don't care about that. They really don't. I mean, she doesn't come from poverty. She's not struggling. You're not doing her a favor. I'm just being honest with you. And I'm not saying this is truth. This is the speculation that we heard, that he probably was that way. Now, apparently they're trying to fight hard to get... Fellas, don't leave. This is not gossip. We're going to find out why. I don't bring you gossip, okay? So apparently he's trying hard to go for marriage counseling. In an interview last year, Sia revealed that he had to seek marriage counseling to work through challenges in their relationship. Maybe it's not cheating, maybe it's behavior. Maybe it's... Look, people are different. You know what I mean? I mean, you're coming from this side and that side. This is a black man that comes from, even though he was not part of apartheid or anything like that. He was born in 1991. She was born in 1990. So she's literally 1 year older than him. And yeah, you still have the mentality of most black people in South Africa, which is not necessarily the same with the mentality of white people. You can try to bring it together. I'm not saying it's never going to work. It works for those people that's trying to make an effort. You need to suppress something about you to accept the next person, especially if they are different from you. You have to remove something about you because you can't be completely yourself, or else there's no space for them. You need to cut off something. It's like two round things, you need to cut off for them to come together. Now, are these cultural differences? I'm not sure. Kolisi, is he what tribe is he? Is he Zulu or something? Okay, maybe Xhosa. So there's still Ngunis. Ngunis are a group of Bantu African people to whom men are leaders, they bosses, they final, they make an order, they don't beg, they don't request, they will tell you what to do. You need to behave in a certain way as a woman to a Nguni or Bantu man. And I also know, fellas, that black men, the way they treat white women is completely different in the way they treat black women. Okay, black men will treat white women much better than they treat black. I'm taking the truth, right? Let me repeat myself. Black men in general will treat white women much better than they treat sisters. Oh, sisters treat white men much better than they treat black men. Yeah, you forgot that part. I'm just saying. So maybe he got too used for it. Sometimes you with somebody for a long time and you start forgetting how precious they are and you start treating them in a certain way. We're just speculating. Maybe, very slowly the Xhosa side start coming out, dominating or whatever. And she was like, you know what? I can't do this. We better just stay friends. Now, some people say relationships between different types don't last. Is this the truth? Do you think this is the truth? Some people say whenever a black man makes some money, he always trying to get a woman from a different race. Is this true? I don't know. Like, what if she was there for him before he became anything? Do you see that part? I mean, it makes sense to judge somebody. If whenever you do good, you become actors and musicians and sportmen, you're always trying to get a woman from a different race. But was the woman of my race present when I was still struggling, trying to make a life for myself? Are they willing to go the distance with me when things are very difficult, when I'm still trying to find my feet? That's a big question that nobody want to answer. Now, everybody wants a finished up man who's been, invested into, who's worked very hard to fix himself to be somebody. But nobody sees the work that goes through that. Now, again, fellas, Sia Kolisi's contract in Paris. They went to Paris, France. That's where he was working recently. He played for the Springbok, which is the national team of rugby of South Africa. He also was recruited by Race 92, which is a team in France to play. That was supposed to be a 3-year contract, but unfortunately was terminated and, at 1 year. Now, Race 92 has terminated the contract of South African captain Sia Kolisi. He's a young man, strong man. Why would they terminate his contract? That's a big question. After just 1 year of 3 years deal, Race 92 and Sia Kolisi have mutually agreed to end the contract early, expressing gratitude. Why would that be? Was he injured? Was he sad? Was he homesick? Now, some people say he was probably homesick because he said himself, I don't want to only invest half of myself to the a team. When they recruited me, they thought they had full time of Siya Kolisi, but I had to go play for the Springboks. So spend time with my people in South Africa. But I love playing for South Africa, he says, so much. I want to continue with Springboks. Siya Kolisi got homesick. He just wanted to go back home. I mean, I hope he's not going to regret it. I'm just saying. I think that's happened to me too back in the past when I went to America. I went to the United States for boxing and I got homesick. I just couldn't stay because I had nobody by myself. Anyway, it's not about me. A lot of South Africans have issues going for a long time away from home. Unlike many African people, a lot of black South Africans have issues going away from home too long. So he was gone for 3 years. It was difficult and came back. Was that the reason why they separated? Maybe. We don't know. So my question to you is this: can South Africa grow and go forward? Let me know how you feel about this. It's always a great pleasure. We mentioned many things. Can black men actually have a successful relationship with people from different places, from different races? Can successful black men do it? Should they actually do it? Or should they just focus on people that look like them? Was Siya Kolisi maybe, doing that thing that most of our brothers do, thinking that you're going to get away from it? And she said, no, not with me, or maybe not. Was he right to come back to South Africa because things are not tough, but he's homesick? I mean, Africans leave their countries going through Sahara and going through all these Arab countries in the northern side of Africa, some of them being beaten so they can go to Europe. And Siya Kolisi goes to Europe and goes like, no, after 1 year, I'm going back home. I can't do this. Is he ever going to get another opportunity like France, like that? Good question. Now, he's back to South Africa. He's going to play for the Sharks in Durban.